Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria and today is the 30th of November, which means everything is starting to look a little more magical. So I thought what better time than now to create a very dreamy, glowy winter makeup look. Naturally, I'm an oily skin type, which is why I like more of matte finishes and matte products. But now the weather demands, everything is feeling a little dry, like there are certain parts of my face which feels a little dry and flaky, so I gotta change few things in my makeup routine. Without any further ado, let's start. I'll start off moisturizing my face, and for that I'm using the Rice Ceramide Cream by the Face Shop. This is the one. This is really lightweight and gives the right amount of moisturization to your skin without making it look greasy, and it doesn't feel thick, or it doesn't take time to absorb at all. It just instantly absorbs all the product to your skin. You do not have to put a lot of effort. The next product I'm using is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. This helps blurring your pores and just gives a more smoother finish before you start with your foundation. The texture is like a white cream, something like this. You can just apply it on your T-zone, places like areas where you have open pores, or you just want to smoothen out overall. So for foundation, I'll be using the L'Oreal Infallible tinted serum and the Estee Lauder Stay in Place Double Wear Foundation. I'm gonna mix both of this to get my perfect shade. So I always prefer a sponge to blend my foundation. I love how the finish with the sponge is more than a brush. For my eyes and for a little bit of highlighting, I'm going to use the Swiss Beauty Concealer. This is in the shade 02. So I quickly did my eyebrows off the camera. I always like a bushy, messy eyebrow look. I don't think I can ever follow trends where, you know, people are doing clean eyebrows and thin eyebrows. So I'm always gonna stick to this style because I think for my face, this is what suits me the best. Let's quickly fix this ring situation and add some color to my eyelids and my face as well. Okay, so for my eyelids, I'm gonna start with a transition shade, something like this. Something like a nude mauve, but for today's look I'm gonna add some colors of red and white and shimmers and all of that, but starting with the transition shade, it has to be 2 shades darker to my skin tone, which is like a mauve nude. So after the transition shade, I'm going to go with a blood red shade from this palette. Now this is something I've not done before, but I'm willing to experiment a little bit with red this time. Let's see how it turns out. Now I'm going to deposit this color on the center and on the ends of my lids without blending it way too much till my eyebrows. Yeah, just enough. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye as well. Just depositing on the center and slightly towards the end. Yeah, that's it. Now obviously I'm not gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna use a clean brush which has no shade, no color, and I'm just gonna blend it within the concentrated space. Next, I'm going with this matte cream white shade. Now this is not a shimmer, it's a matte shade, and I'm just gonna apply this around my inner corners. Now while doing this, you need to make sure that your brushes doesn't have leftover color from other shades, then it can just spoil the entire look. Just make sure that you're using clean brush every time you pick up a color. Once you've applied the white shade, this is how bright and white your inner corner should be looking. I'm going to use this shade which looks a little bit of champagne, a little bit of white, and I'm just going to apply it especially on my inner corners till this point. And for this I'll be using my fingers because it'll pick up more pigment than any brush would. So for my waterline, I'm gonna start smoking out a brown eyeshadow, and then eventually I'm gonna create a double lid with another darker eyeshadow. Now with another thin liner brush, something like this, I'm gonna take another shade of brown and I'm just gonna create an illusion of a double lid. And then once this is done, I'm gonna apply some white shimmer again in between these two lines to, give that pop of highlight. I'm gonna use this shimmer from the ColourPop palette. I'm just gonna apply it like this. Moving back to my eyelids, I'm gonna use a brown eyeshadow to do a smoked wing liner. For that, again, I'm going back with my You Can Be palette and I'm using the shade of brown over here. Okay, so for my eyeliner, I'll be using an angled brush, something like this. I'm just gonna dip it in this shade of brown. Just gonna smoke out my wing. I always prefer creating eyeliners with eyeshadows because I just love how smooth and smoky the finish looks rather than going with the liquid liner, which makes the lines look very prominent and you have to make sure that the wing is very even. But with the eyeshadow, you do not have to worry about the wing looking even or not. Next, I'm going with a nude pencil. Now this is well sharpened so that I deposit like most pigment, and I'm going to use this on my waterline. So I need to prep my natural lashes for the falsies. So I'm using a pair of magnetic lashes. Now I tried putting them on, but it was not the most convenient to put on, but let's give it a try. Okay, this has magnets on both the sides, and using the help of this tool, you just have to press, in between your lids, but it is very difficult aligning the space and everything, so it's gonna take some time. Let me try and show you on. Okay, now I'll tell you one thing about magnetic lashes. It's not that convenient how they portray in the ads on Instagram or anywhere on the net. It takes a lot of time aligning and adjusting the magnets to your eyelid, and a lot of times if the alignment is not proper, your skin might get into the magnet and then it hurts. So it's not as easy how they show it. So, and the amount of time it requires for you to adjust back and forth, I would just go with my traditional glued eyelashes and just put them on, but yeah, this is how they're looking. I'm gonna do the other eye and then I'm gonna show you the look. This is how the lashes are looking. Now I'm not a fan of this lashes because once the magnet clips have stick to one another, there is no way you can adjust back and forth. Like you cannot. Now if you can see, this one is starting from here, whereas this one is starting from here and it's tilted upwards. Now no way I can adjust this because it has magnet on, and you cannot pull because you'll end up pulling your own lashes. Yeah, that's something I don't like. So magnetic lashes, I don't know if there are better qualities out there which will not give me this problem, but these ones, no, I'm not using it. I'm just sticking back to my glued lashes, but I can just customize the length and everything according to my wish, and I can just put them on. So I have a little bit of fallout under the eyes. I'm gonna go with my concealer once again. I'm just gonna fix that. It's a little bit here and there. Let's start with some contour. I'm using the Glam cream contour, and I'm just gonna apply on the high points of my cheek. Just make little dots like this. Okay, here as well. This is very pigmented, so a little bit here. Using this flat foundation brush, I'm just gonna start blending it into my hairline. Don't worry if you see a lot of brown now. I'm gonna use baking powder to just highlight and tone down the brown. And like this. For baking, I'm using the banana powder by Revolution London. I'm just gonna take some powder on the tip like this, dust off the excess, and just apply where I want to highlight. The forehead, center of the forehead, and very important, the jaw. A clean powder brush, and I'm just gonna dust off the excess powder from it. Next, I'm going with my favorite blush by Kiko Milano, the burn orange blush, which I'm not able to open right now. Okay, here you go. Using another fluffy powder brush, just swirl it here, tap off the excess, and just apply exactly under my eyes and the apples of the cheek, which is somewhere here. Yes. But also make sure that you do not end up looking like a monkey's ass. Just make sure everything is like well blended. Is it looking too much? Yes, it is looking too much. So I'm gonna go with my damn beauty blender and I'm just gonna blend everything all over again. Since today we have decided that we're gonna glow to the gods, and until the person standing in front of you doesn't black out, I'm gonna use a face highlighter. Now this one is by Mars. It's called the Glowzilla palette and it has all shades of highlighters, and I am mostly using the cool tone highlighters to complement the rest of my face. And for some reason the cool tone when applied to my skin is turning a bit golden. I don't know why. So for lips I'm thinking the Roman Juicy Tint and the Milano Kiko Glitter Gloss. The Roman is in the shade called Nucademia. This is a very nice nude shade which is looking red right now, but just wait. This is a tint, so even if the gloss effect is gone, the tint is still gonna stay on your lips. Not bad. This is the final look. I love how shimmery and glowy my skin looks, and obviously the red glossy lips. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video and I will see you until my next time. Bye.